Do you want a clean home? Here are 10 things you can do every day to ensure it. Let's be honest, life is busy. There are so many things that we would rather be doing with our time than cleaning our homes. And yet we also don't want to live in filth. Not doing any cleaning isn't really an option. So the best that we can do is hope to find a way to make our house look respectable without a lot of added effort. I've been doing a little internet research over the past few months, watching various YouTube channels related to cleaning motivation, organizing, and minimalism, trying to decide why it seems that some people have an easier time keeping their homes looking clean and tidy. What is the common thread? I've discovered that there are 10 things that people who have clean homes do on a daily basis. And while some of these tasks may seem trivial to some degree, prioritizing them before all other cleaning projects and chores seems to work well for a lot of people. And I think that this approach may work for you as well. So let's jump right in and learn what these 10 things are. The first one is making the beds. This little habit is one that I personally have come to love. Now, having a freshly made bed doesn't really do anything cleanliness-wise. It won't necessarily cut down on dirt or germs. I understand that. But having a made bed really sets the tone of the room. If it's straightened out and looking put together, your brain is kind of tricked into being able to actually see any other clutter or cleaning projects that might be in the room, prompting an extra degree of tidiness. There is also a feeling of satisfaction that comes with having this easy job done and out of the way early on in the day. That sort of fuels more productivity. Now, the key to this clean home habit is to be sure not to overcomplicate it. Make it so easy that it can be done in just a minute or two. That might mean that you have to opt out of all of the extra decorative pillows or layers of blankets. Another habit that can help keep a clean home is dealing with junk mail before it enters. Doing this daily, every time you receive the mail, is great for a couple of reasons. First, it will reduce the amount of paper clutter, which will visually help keep the home more tidy. That one is pretty obvious, but it also sets a person up with a good system, which gives a sense of control. When things get overwhelming in a home, that control gets lost, and we start to feel hopeless, like no matter how hard we try, we're not going to be able to get back on top of things. So having this one simple system and routine of dealing with the mail and weeding out all of the junk is a way that we can prove to our brains, say, hey, you can do this. And that confidence is sure to spill over into other aspects of home care as well. People with clean homes use their dining tables. They have rules that keep them a no piling zone. It's strange, but not seeing the table piled high with papers, being able to use it for its intended purpose without shifting things around here and there to make space, that's a luxury that many people don't experience in their homes. The pride of ownership that this little habit brings seems to exponentially benefit the people who do it, which contributes to even more success and mindfulness in other areas of the home. I know for myself, using the dining table means that I'm also aware of sweeping up crumbs beneath it, and even washing down the chairs that we use for dining. Having dedicated spots for things is another clean home habit that leads to success. While it seems like it might be easier to just leave things out at the end of the day because you plan to use them tomorrow, people with clean homes resist that urge. For example, instead of tossing clothes that have been worn once on the back of a chair or on the floor, they get them into the laundry hamper if they're dirty. Those laundry hampers are most often in a convenient and somewhat central location, such as a bathroom or near the washing machine itself, making it super easy to get that chore accomplished when the time comes. The same sort of concept applies to trash bins. Now, one interesting thing that I noted from watching all of these videos was that everyone seemed to have their own sort of rhythm regarding how often they dealt with things like laundry or trash. Some swear that the best way to keep their home clean is to take the trash out and do a load of laundry every single day. Others are fine with waiting a few days, or in the case of laundry, only tackling it once per week. So I really think that the key to this habit is commitment. Knowing that you aren't going to find random socks or candy wrappers strewn about the house, it gives a sense of peace. This next habit is one that might surprise you, but makes a lot of sense, and that is keeping shoes off when in the house. It doesn't matter who you are. If you walk outdoors, you're going to step in something gross, probably without even realizing it. And you will track that grossness everywhere you go, including in your home, if you allow shoes to be worn inside. I've noticed that most people who keep a clean home have a rule of taking shoes off at the door, a dedicated spot, kind of like in the last habit I mentioned, which also makes it much easier to find those shoes when they need to be put on in a hurry. An alternative to this one, if shoes are needed for stability, is to have a pair of indoor-only shoes. I feel like this one in particular is something that most people could pretty easily incorporate into their daily routine and habits without too much struggle. Sadly, even without wearing shoes inside, there will still be dirt, crumbs, and other little bits of things that end up on the floor just from regular use of the home. And that's why another daily habit is to sweep or vacuum high traffic areas. Not necessarily bedrooms or home offices, but certainly the public spaces that get more consistent use. The floor is the largest horizontal surface in any house, and it's so much easier for those horizontal surfaces to get dirty than vertical ones. We walk all over our floors, but the top half of walls don't have a big chance of getting touched. Depending on floor surface, a broom, mop, or vacuum might be the best tool for the job. And I know that robotic vacuums are also gaining in popularity. Using one might save even more time and make this habit even easier to incorporate. Address spills and smudges immediately if you want a clean home. Think of how many times you've noticed a dirty surface and decided to just leave it for later. While that might be tempting, it's likely to cost you more time in the long run. Liquid fruit juice turns into a sticky, dried up mess that's much more difficult to clean. And greasy fingerprints on trim or walls might eat away at the finish if left too long. The simple thing to do is to take action as soon as a spill or smudge is noticed. It takes mere seconds to get a rag out and deal with it quickly. People who have clean homes keep smells in check. Every home has a scent, but it's up to the homeowner to determine if that will be something fresh or less than desirable. Believe it or not, the way a home smells has a huge impact on how clean it is perceived to be. A poll that was done in 2020 noted that close to 60% of people said that they assume a space is not clean if it has a foul odor. Some daily habits that can help with smells include being sure to run the vent hood while cooking food, opening windows to let in fresh air, taking out the trash, and scooping the litter box or cleaning a pet's cage. Some people may opt to light a candle or heat a simmer pot of various fruits or spices on the stove. Getting the home reset is another very common habit for people with clean homes. This can come in a variety of ways, but the most common seem to include getting the kitchen and living room back in order. In the kitchen, that might look like washing up all of the dishes or running the dishwasher and wiping down the counters, maybe sweeping the floor a bit. For the living room, folding blankets and adjusting couch pillows. Spending those extra few minutes at the end of a busy day pays back dividends in the morning when everything is fresh and orderly and you can set straight to work without having to deal with yesterday's problems. I've incorporated this habit for quite a few years now, and I have to say it never gets old walking into a clean kitchen in the morning. And the last thing I determined through my research that people with clean homes do daily is evaluation. This is done to keep things at a manageable level and to ensure that nothing is being overcomplicated. For example, evaluating if an item is worth keeping around by asking if it's used often enough, or pondering about the amount of time and effort it takes to maintain and care for it. A donation box is at the ready to accept anything that doesn't make the cut. They essentially do mini decluttering sessions while going about their day. Evaluation isn't just for physical objects either. It's also a great way to assess the cost versus value of a task. If it's noticed that a large chunk of time is spent sorting through clothes and separating lights from darks before throwing them in the washing machine, and the realization is made that the sorting wouldn't have to happen at all if cold water was used for all the laundry, that's a time saver that people with clean houses are happy to take advantage of. Any little way that household chores can be streamlined to make them the most efficient is a win. So that's the list of 10 things that people with clean homes do daily. And as you probably noticed, many of them dealt with mindfulness and being aware. I didn't mention any major deep cleaning tasks on this list. No floor polishing, no scrubbing tile grout, or washing windows. While doing these things would definitely help in getting a clean house, they are genuinely not necessary to do every single day. So feel comforted in knowing that if you're short on time, it's okay to set them aside for later. Your house can still be clean and looking great. It's the little things that you do out of habit that will keep your home looking its best. If you're just starting out with the focus of trying to have a clean home, give yourself plenty of time to let these habits stick. It's not going to come overnight, but doing them day in and day out is going to make you more comfortable with the process and ultimately make it much easier to maintain a clean home. How about you? Are you ready to take these 10 on, or do you already do some or all of them on a daily basis? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you here again really soon.